I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special.
I say there's nothing to do, but damn, like, what else do you gotta do? he's a three-time undisputed champion.
Hey man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this.
Many fighters are hesitant to face Terence Crawford, and for good reason. Even Roy Jones Jr. once pointed out that Canelo looked uneasy just standing across from him. Crawford isn't just dangerous because of his skills, it's the way he stays completely calm, studies every move, and makes opponents pay for the smallest mistake. He hardly ever takes a clean shot and always seems to be one step ahead, which leaves his rivals feeling like they have no real path to victory.
And that stare down that we talked about when I told you either he's not ready for this or he trying to Bud. He wasn't trying to little boy Bud. He really was afraid. Well, not afraid, but he was worried about Bud. And Bud knew that. And Bud being the older guy, Bud kind of looked him in his eye and made him turn away first. That was a victory for Bud. That was Bud's first victory. Anytime that happens, if something else don't come around or something else don't happen to undo that, you got a problem.
Paulie Malignaggi praised Terence Crawford for building one of the most impressive careers in boxing today. He's become an undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, something almost no one achieves, and he did it by taking on the toughest opponents, not easy matchups. What stood out to Paulie most wasn't just Crawford's victories, but how rarely he gets hit while dominating his fights. Crawford's record speaks for itself: 41 wins, 31 knockouts, and 0 losses. Paulie called his run historic and said Crawford's recent win over Canelo was more than just another fight, it marked the start of a new era. To Paulie, Crawford has now become the face of boxing, much like Floyd Mayweather was in his time.
Flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, you know, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, you know, oh, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. You know, I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. Really, really incredible. And I know Mayweather gets a lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And it's a fight we'll never get to see. So what are we going to do, you know? It'll be up to the fantasy fights, you know. But let's get into it, man. I want to get into the undercard as well and some of my thoughts on the Netflix show. But let's get into the main event first. Crawford really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly the whole fight. You know, he got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved.
Brian said watching Terence Crawford face Canelo was something special. He pointed out that it's rare to see a fighter balance defense and offense so perfectly. Usually, a boxer is stronger in one area and leaves openings in the other, but not Crawford. In that fight, Crawford showed he could block and slip punches with ease, then instantly switch to attack and punish every mistake. Brian explained that this is what sets Crawford apart from most champions. He can completely shut down an opponent's game plan while building his own momentum. For Brian, it was incredible to see a fighter not just avoid damage, but control and dominate a top-level opponent with such calm, precise skill.
See, I think that for me, I watch defense as much as I watch offense. So, yeah, like I thought, like watching Bud catch those shots off his glove.
He looked amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. He'd go to a body and he'd catch that and come up with an uppercut. You know, just all those things that seem.
He looked great.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that to ever.
No one has. Yeah, he's the best.
Canelo.
Ever. Yeah, he's the best.
And I think he would do that to Canelo on his best day. Canelo said it. He goes, I couldn't figure him out.
No.
which is why he probably won't fight him again in a way.
They'll fight again.
You think so?
The payday, yeah. But so you're going to get Canelo, because the money's in Canelo Crawford, the rematch.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it, but I want Crawford to get paid, so might as well do it.
Andre Ward praised Terence Crawford as the most skilled fighter of his generation. Coming from Ward, one of the smartest boxers of his era, that's high praise. He pointed out that Crawford's mindset is what truly sets him apart. When Terence decides to achieve something, he'll do whatever it takes to get there. Ward said the only real way to stop a fighter like Crawford is to hurt him physically, because no strategy or trick will outsmart him. His ability to switch stances, adjust on the fly, and stay calm under pressure puts him in a rare class of fighters who can impose their will no matter the situation. Ward made it clear that Crawford's dominance isn't luck, it's built on determination, discipline, and a relentless drive to overcome any challenge.
Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this,
yeah.
it's different, man.